his major 21st birthday bash, and we have all the details. I'm Gabi Conti.
I'm Jana Rosenberg, and this is your 24/7 celebrity news. Bryce Hall and the Sway Boys are facing serious repercussions for their recent massive party to ring in Bryce's 21st birthday. Recently, the mayor of LA, Eric Garcetti, tweeted that he authorized the city to disconnect utility service at a house in the Hollywood Hills to stop the large gatherings held there in flagrant violation of our public health orders. Parties like these can quickly and easily spread the virus and put our communities at risk. Bryce responded by liking the tweet, and then Blake confirmed their power did indeed get turned off as he went live, showing the house had no light and claiming the showers were cold. Woo, rough thing, Mr. Eric Garcetti.
Yes.
Like, that's pretty tough. I get it. Like, I understand it, and you guys should know by now, Gabi and I are not here for that massive party just because it's disrespectful. We're in a global pandemic. Yeah. It's just, you're an influencer, not the smartest thing. That being said, interesting conversation, because some people are saying this is way too harsh on the mayor of Los Angeles, and some people are saying, like, no, that should have happened. I am kind of in the middle on this one. I want to have a better opinion for you guys, but I'm kind of in the middle.
Well, what I think is, I think that this is too little too late.
Yeah.
I feel like there should have been a stronger action, and I feel like it should have happened when the party was happening. Yeah. I feel like there needs to be restrictions to prevent parties like this from happening, and I do feel like this does feel like that the mayor is making an example out of Bryce. We're going to get more into the story because there is something that is very wrong with him turning off the power and the electricity, which we'll get into in a little bit. But I don't know, I just feel like there needs to be, like, maybe it's not turning off the power, maybe it's a fine,
I think that would be much better,
that feels like a little bit more responsible, and I think that, turning off someone's power and electricity in the middle of a heat wave while there's fires going around outside of Los Angeles, it seems just really not, it's not the right thing to do. I do think they should be definitely, getting some type of punishment, and I do think it kind of goes down to, it should be something along the lines of a fine and perhaps losing some sponsorships, losing some deals. I am happy that it seems like Bryce is finally apologizing for this action.
I think it woke him up a little bit.
Yeah.
And maybe that was the intent, which is kind of where I'm like, maybe he did need this. But I agree with you. I actually commented on Mayor Garcetti's Instagram post. And I said, the party's over, though. Question mark. Because it is true. It's like that happened not even like last night. It was like 3 nights ago. And then he decided to do this. So I don't know.
Well, I really also hope too that, the power did get shut off pretty much right soon after he made that announcement.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so they've been without power for a couple of days now.
Dang.
Yeah, they've been without power for a couple of days now, and they've been but they've also been out and about. The boys have been at Earth Cafe, they've been at BOA, probably to enjoy the free AC, I'm assuming. I've had my AC not working in the middle of when it's super hot like this, and it is miserable.
I mean, it is. We are having a major heat wave in California. It's usually not this hot, but it's like nearing 100 degrees, which is insane.
And
so
you can't even plug in a fan. It's it's just not livable conditions.
It's not. And water, showering's like a basic, you just,
necessity.
and
that's what people are saying. They're saying it's too harsh.
Pretty savage, honestly.
Very
and
savage.
It's so funny because all of the comments were at Bryce Hall, at Bryce. Everyone just knew, at least in LA.
Yeah.
I don't know where you guys are or when you saw this erupt, but now I feel like the entire nation knows, and it's kind of funny.
But also, I will say, Bryce is not the first, and he's probably, unfortunately, not the last person to have a big, massive bash like this. Parties like this have been going on all over Los Angeles. They've been going on all across the country. I definitely do think that there needs to be repercussions for it. I don't think turning off the power and the heat, power and the AC, your AC and your water is what the solution is.
I agree. It's a little harsh. It's a little crazy. It's also crazy he tweeted this.
It is crazy he tweeted
in the Instagram, the tweet. We were all kind of okay.
Well, it's also crazy that our mayor is active on Instagram.
Yeah.
But, I get it. He really is trying to connect with the youth. It's not really working. I feel I mean, that's the other thing too. If you look at when this all started in LA, had the mayor been stricter about keeping things closed and making it seem like this was a really, really I think we opened too soon, and that's why we are where we are.
Absolutely.
So it's a whole thing, and we're looking at the comments right now. Yeah, people are saying that yes, Bryce did apologize. We are getting into it, and I do agree. Everyone needs to apologize, and I do think that there needs to be repercussions for this type of behavior.
I mean, I'm right here with you.
Yeah. So, now something that you might not know about Bryce's infamous party, something I didn't actually know until this news surfaced, is it actually did not take place at the Sway trailer house in the Hollywood Hills, which is also where Bryce and the Sway Boys' personal residence. It actually took place at Sway's gaming house in Encino, which still has functioning utilities according to sources as we report this. And some people didn't think that it was fair that Bryce's personal home's power and water was shut off. Some thought in the comments the mayor's post saying that he shut off utilities at the Hollywood Hills party home received responses like, quote, if only you were so tough on real criminals, you might still have a city, and quote, how does this work when you allow protesters to gather in streets? Will you be shutting off streetlights? While others were concerned that the mayor did this during a heat wave, which is, you know, these are all valid concerns.
Valid concerns.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and I mean, I agree with the protests. I mean, we had hundreds of millions of people in those streets, and yes, it's for a great cause, and you know, that's amazing, but it's during a time where it's like, okay, where's the morals for the pandemic even there, you know? Because it's like, you're going to bring that home to your families, and then those people that have to go to their essential jobs or whatever it may be, you know?
Right.
Same, I think, principle here. The thing is, it was a party, and there's absolutely no excuse for this.
Well, and also when you're protesting, protesters are wearing face masks.
Right.
They are taking precautions. Like this party, we saw the videos. No one's wearing a face mask. They're super close to each other. We all know they all don't live there. You know,
The drinking, and it's like things happen, and it's not great.
You've been to parties before. You know, you take a drink of a cup, you put it down, you take another drink. You know what I mean?
Next
like,
thing you know,
you're playing flip cup. Like, you know, it's getting into everything.
It's a lot of
very unsanitary to be at a party. It's like probably where the biggest spread of this stuff happens.
Totally.
So,
yeah, really crazy. I mean, I think Bryce's initial response was valid. Like, the second I heard this, you guys, I was like, this is crazy. I'm so mad. And I sat back and I was like, maybe, like, whatever. So I think it was valid. And then, you know, as we get more into this, we're going to see he's kind of growing up a little bit through this whole process.
Elle just commented saying that he did not apologize. Bryce did not apologize. He regretted it. And that those are two different things. Saying I'm sorry and saying I regret something are two very different things.
That is very true.
And I do wish that Bryce would actually give a full apology to the city of Los Angeles. And also to his very young and impressionable fans who are probably watching the content that he's doing and thinking it's okay for them to do that with their
fans. He hasn't, you know, I'm so surprised that he's just been so normal since this. Like, he knows he's under fire for all of these things. He's so normal to paparazzi. He's so normal on social media. And it is kind of mind-blowing and kind of, like, it kind of scares me a little because it's like, I know, like, he's better than that, and influencers should be better than that, you know? So.
Well, and also this happening so soon after his arrest, you know, in Texas, like, it's just, it's sad, you know, because I feel like we're rooting for Bryce. We want him to do well. We want him to, like, you know, and to have this happen, and yes, it's not entirely his fault. Of course, people threw this party for him, but Bryce also released a YouTube video, kind of like a behind the scenes of the party. Yeah. And he kind of was like, yeah, now I realize we probably shouldn't have done that. But it does seem like Bryce was involved in the parting of it and that, you know, and all that kind of stuff. So,
yeah. Just it really just comes back to, you know, influence and you know, just it's disrespectful. I think it's a big disrespectful thing to do. And yeah, I mean, I think I've seen a lot of fans commenting, a lot of you guys being kind of on each side of it. And again, like, I feel like I lay in the position where I kind of get it, but at the same time, you know, this was just crazy.
Yeah. And the biggest thing, too, is that it's not just infecting the people at this party. We know that a lot of people at this party were young, and, like, young people are less susceptible to contract, to, like, getting very sick from COVID. Right. But they're still there, and they have it, and, like, how do we know where all those people live? I'm sure a lot of those people live with older people that are more susceptible to it. So that's really where it comes down to, like, that's why partying is not, it's not just going to a party risks you getting sick. It risks you contracting the virus and then spreading it to people who are very vulnerable. That's the real problem, which I think.
Yeah, a lot of you guys have commented, but they all tested negative. They showed that, and that's not the point, though. Yeah, it's not the point.
And also, what do we know every 100 person, like all of those 100 people's test results? No, we don't. We just know like Bryce and a handful of them. So, yeah.
All right, so while at first Bryce seemed pretty unbothered by all the backlash he was getting from his party, it's now seeming like he learned his lesson, kind of, as he recently tweeted that he woke up sweating bullets in this 100-degree weather / no air conditioner, #dope, and then added, with my power recently being shut off, I now see what having no power can have on someone. I decided to donate a portion of my upcoming merch sales to @NoKidHungry, hoping to do my small part to help those in need in LA during these times, #Los Angeles. Bryce was also just interviewed by the paparazzi when leaving Boa Steakhouse. When asked if he regrets throwing the party now that his power is off, Bryce, wearing a face mask, responded saying, I regretted the party as soon as I threw the party. I highly doubt that. I don't really believe that.
If you regretted the party as soon as you threw the party, then you would have tried to wrap up the party, but I guess it's your birthday.
Or you wouldn't have actually gone through with it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You invited all those people previously.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't really see this as an apology. I don't take this as an apology. I think, yes, he's learned his lesson. And I love that he's giving back to the city of LA. But you know what I also find kind of messed up, though? It's like you're giving back to the city of LA now. What you could have done is maybe not try to spread the global pandemic in the first place.
In the city.
You
and
know?
The other thing, too, that's so interesting to think about is that, we have to remember that a lot of us who live in Los Angeles are guests of Los Angeles. Like, it's not our hometown. We know Bryce is from Maryland. I'm not from here originally. Like, we should kind of try to be kinder to the city that we are making our home that isn't that wasn't initially our home to begin with.
Right. We got to work together.
We really
If you're
do.
in LA or whatever city you're in, like if you're in Raleigh, North Carolina, like you got to work together. You know what I mean? Like,
very true.
It's so important.
And I do think it is nice that he is giving back. I think that's great, and I'm happy he's doing that. But something else to think about is that people get their power shut off all the time, and a lot of it is because they can't pay their bills.
Right.
And that's really sad, especially now where money, people are losing their jobs. They don't have money to do this.
Yeah.
And when someone actually, I don't think that Bryce really does understand what it's like to be poor and lose your power, because when you're poor and you lose your power, there's no place you can go, especially in the middle of a pandemic. There's no public places with air conditioning.
Yeah.
You can't afford to go to a nice restaurant or anywhere. There's no movie theaters open. There's no place to go cool down. And Bryce had also said that recently that he said he's moving. They got a new house.
Yes.
So I'm sure that there will be power and utilities working at that new house. And also he said that he's going back to his hometown in Maryland, I'm sure, to enjoy his mom's air conditioning.
Yes.
Like, most people, when they lose their power, they don't have this ability at all, which is something it's important to think about, I think.
Yeah, I mean, it's such a tough situation. Like he said, he's going back to Maryland, which also kind of put him under fire. People are like, when is he going to learn? Like, you shouldn't be traveling necessarily. I think the traveling thing, like, you can do that safely. You can take precautions. I don't feel like he should get so much fire for that. Also, maybe it'll be good for him. Like, maybe he needs to be out of this crazy city for a hot minute and be with his family and just, like, mellow out for a second.
Well, yeah, now with travel precautions, every city has a different precaution. I do know, like, if I wanted to go home to see my parents in Connecticut, I would have to go to Connecticut and quarantine in place for 2 weeks before seeing my family, and then I could come back to Los Angeles or something like that.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that's what he's doing. I have a feeling, knowing Bryce, it's probably just for a couple of days. I don't think it's like a long-term thing.
I agree.
So, yeah. So Bryce also told the paparazzi that he was not expecting that many people to come to his party. It just happened. The power got shut off, as he said. I deserved it. Now I'm just facing the consequences. As for if any positive came from this experience, Bryce said he, quote, learned from it. Then Bryce was out at Earth Cafe with his roommates Noah Beck and Blake Gray. They all spoke about having their power shut off. When the Hollywood Fix said that shutting off their power was a bit much, Bryce responded by saying, quote, it is illegal, but we deserve it. Bryce also made sure that he and his roommates got COVID tests after the party, and he shared his results on Twitter. He also filmed himself getting a COVID test, which is in his latest YouTube video, assuring fans that he is indeed negative. While it seems like Bryce has learned his lesson, it doesn't look like the TikTok star will be living without power for much longer, as he just tweeted, as we said earlier, that he will be, quote, taking a quick little Maryland trip. So, I mean, again, he's lucky that he has the means to travel and that he is able to travel.
And to take, COVID tests are pretty, getting
to
them is difficult.
They're still hard to get, and they're still hard to get, and I think that I've seen this a lot with influencers, not just in Los Angeles, I've seen it with the Hamptons, I've seen it at any party city, that people are just like having this like influx of COVID tests that they're able to take before going into parties, which I think doesn't make partying okay, because those tests are still hard to get.
It's tough. I mean, I had some friends like taking a lot of tests in the beginning, and it kind of like made me mad, because I was like, there might be people that really need those right now, and because you want to be social, like that, it's not really fair.
And then what, you're going to take the test, you're going to go be social, then you're going to risk infection, and then you're going to take the test again. Like, it just doesn't, that to me just doesn't make sense.
Right. Back to Bryce Hall and Mayor Garcetti. Eric Garcetti is the Los Angeles mayor. Yes. I wonder, like, I really want to know if there's been any communication between the two of them. I mean, pretty savage for the mayor of Los Angeles to find his home in the Hollywood Hills. I know it's easy for him because he's the mayor, but I'm just saying, you know what I mean? And like, I feel like when he did this, it was such a power move on the mayor, because he was like, just so you guys all remember, like, I can do this. whatever your opinion on that is, it's like, it's such a savage thing he did.
But he messed up. It's the wrong house. If the mayor wanted to shut off the power, it should have been the
party house
where the party was,
yeah.
not where Bryce lives.
I kind of get
that's wrong.
I get why he did it where he lives. I feel like there was a bigger lesson there because they're probably not at the party Encino house all the time. But I agree, it is wrong because it's like you can't shower.
Yeah.
Like you can't it's hot. It's so hot.
You can't charge your phone.
Yeah.
I don't know how they're I guess they're all. Well, they all also recently all got new cars, so they're probably in their cars a lot.
But how long is he going to do this for? Like, are they back on? Like, how many days has it been?
The last I saw that they did not have power, that was a day ago. So I don't know. They might have power now. I'm sure. I feel like we will see it on TikTok Room.
Yeah.
Or also on their own social medias. I feel like they'll be so grateful when they have power. I mean, I recently went through a blackout, and there also was a big blackout on the East Coast for people were out power for days, and it's just it's terrible.
It's the worst. I just want to know when the power gets back on at Bryce's. I'm sure he will share it with us.
I'm sure we will get the
And
tea.
I want to know if Mayor Garcetti's going to apologize to him, but be like, you know what I mean, or something.
I don't think he'll apologize. I think the Mayor Garcetti used Bryce to make an example out of him.
He did.
I do hope, but I think that if you are in any city, hopefully this is a lesson to you to not throw parties during this time because there are consequences. Be it your power taken off, it could be something else depending on where you live. So that is the positive that I hope comes from this.
Yeah. No, I mean I totally agree with you.
Yeah.
Again, it's just so crazy that he did it. It really bums me out. I'm like, you're this such powerful, talented content creator and influencer, and just so many younger kids follow you, and they're like, oh, well, if he's doing this, we should just be leading by example, I think, as influencers.
And now also kids are going back to college. Don't you think that they are going to try to have as many off-campus college parties as possible because they're like, oh, Bryce Hall did it, so we can do it. So I do think this definitely encouraged people to have more parties, but I really hope that it has discouraged them as well.
I totally agree with you.
Yes.
So yeah, you guys, let's go through some of your comments. There's been a lot of things going on in this comment section actually, so I was getting distracted. I guess a lot of you guys were saying that. Let's see. So hang on, I read something I really, really want to point it out. That we were hating on. Someone said something about us hating on Bryce and the situation.
Oh, no.
It's not that. It's just these are the facts of what happened, and we should all know that it's not cool to be partying with hundreds of people right now out of the respect for the global pandemic and the people that it will seriously affect.
We like Bryce. We support Bryce.
We love him. I mean,
we're disappointed.
Yeah,
I think is the answer. We're not
Yeah, and recently, this crazy thing happened that our mayor shut off his power, which we think is a little harsh and a little wrong. So yeah, we're just letting you guys know. No hate here. Just letting you guys know the facts.
Yeah, just telling you everything. And then people also are saying that there is a new house. So I think they are moving. Also in the interview with Hollywood Fix, as they were leaving Earth Cafe, Bryce did confirm that they are moving.
And they're not going back.
Yes. So I hope too. Maybe perhaps this will be a lesson in their new house. They'll be like, well, we're not going to party in this house because we can't,
Or it's you know what? If you're gonna, I don't believe in this. If you're gonna do it, why are you putting it on social media? That's the worst thing you can do.
I don't think it's because you have that many people. You can't control what that many people are gonna do.
That's so true.
And I think, and also the more you're drinking, the less aware you are of it.
Right.
And obviously, we saw what their bar looked like. So people were definitely drinking there, and I think they reached a point. I bet you at the beginning of the party they were all like, no phones, and everyone was respectful. But then once many people are in that place, you can't control that. You really can't.
You really can't.
Yeah.
Someone said, yes, I lived in NJ and the power was off for 3 days.
My parents in Connecticut, power off for 2 days, and a lot of their neighbors off for longer. And it's really terrifying because you don't realize how important power is to your life and how you really need it to just function.
Basic function.
In the middle of a pandemic, when things are closed.
Things are already so bad.
It's so bad.
So what do you guys think about Bryce and the Sway Boys? Do you think they deserve to have their power turned off, or do you think this is a little too harsh? And how are you guys thinking about the way that Bryce handled the situation? Let us know. I'm Jana Rosenberg.
I'm Gabi Conti, and follow us at Hollywire for your 24/7 celebrity news.